Alishya, and I am running for the next ISA president.
Hi everyone, my name is Bridget, and I'm running for ISA VP next year.
So I just want to start this off by telling you a little story about my first year being an ISA. It's kind of a sad one, but also very funny. So I initially applied to be a social media intern, but I did not get the position. But Gwen Snyder, the then programs executive, actually personally reached out to me and she was like, Alishya, would you like to be on my team? And I was like hell yes, because she and I had worked together at Social Butterfly, which is ISA's first event of the year. And she was just so impressed by my work ethic, and she saw the drive and potential in me. And of course I gladly said yes, and I soon fell in love with being a programs intern, and I knew that I loved planning events, and that was what I wanted to do. So I knew that I wanted to join ISA the next year, and I wanted to take on more responsibility and a bigger leadership role. So I applied to be a programs executive, and I was hired by Lloyd and Amy to be the next programs executive. And then I gained 7 wonderful interns who are in the room right now and right next to me. Having those interns has honestly been the biggest highlight of my ISA career.
As for me, my ISA experience started this year, my freshman year, when my sister actually Facebook messaged me a link to the application. And me being a freshman, I had no clue anything about anything at OSU, or not OSU, U of O. And I kind of looked at it, but I didn't really look at it. And so instead, a week later, I went to the EMU. There was a club fair for freshmen, I believe. And I remember being very welcomed by Amy and Lloyd at the ISA booth. And I knew Lloyd in high school, so I immediately was interested in ISA. I remember that my sister enjoyed ISA so much, and I wanted to, follow after her. Fast forward to this moment now, I served as one of Alishya's children, otherwise known as her programs intern, as well as the fundraising director for iNight and iWeek.
So 3 years ago, when I first came to Eugene, I remember seeing Sandra Benny, the then president of ISA, speak at an ISO event. And I remember just being so inspired by her and mesmerized by her. I was like, you know what, one day I'm going to be ISA president, and it's a crazy thought, and I can't believe that I'm actually standing here today running for ISA president with Bridget by my side. I also have had numerous experience, not only working in ISA, but also within the international community. I have worked as a student assistant at the Office of International Affairs, as well as with the International Student Orientation and with the International Student Career Alliance. Sorry, English is not my first language, so I'm really struggling right now. Okay, I decided to run this year because I felt as though that I had a lot of experience working in ISA as well as in the international community, and my experience as well as the key connections that I've made throughout my experience will help me be a better leader. In addition to my experience and connections, I know that I am very capable since I have managed a group of 7 interns to lead a team of my own executives and 30 interns one day.
I believe ISA not only serves as a great leeway to international events on campus, but more importantly as a way for domestic and international students alike to come together to better understand each other. Me being a domestic student from Portland and Alishya being an international student from Malaysia, we're able to work together and collaborate to better integrate both communities on campus. Being an ISA as a freshman was definitely the best decision I made this year. It gave me a chance to dip my feet into the multitude of international events on campus, as well as introduce myself to a lot of friends that I know I'll have for life.
Last year, Lloyd and Amy set out with one mission, and that was to bridge the gap between international and domestic students. However, Bridget and I feel that this year that mission has been accomplished.
Since this year, a coffee hour survey showed that the majority of coffee hour attendants at that coffee hour were domestic students who called ISA their home away from home.
So this year, Bridget and I want to enhance the experience of international students here at the U of O. We would do this by creating a community where diversity is not only celebrated, but where differences are always welcome.
We want ISA to be a main resource for international students to come with any questions or any concerns. This can range from professional questions about classes or academics, or it can range from social issues or any problems that they're facing, and they can come to us or ISA to get help. We want to provide students with the tools to succeed within a multicultural lens. So me and Alishya have come up with 5 main goals for ISA next year that will hopefully reach this mission that we want.
So we would do this by first strengthening the bond between international student groups and ISA. I feel that this year there has been a little discord between ISGs and ISA. So Bridget and I would help improve this relationship by actually attending all their weekly meetings as well as ISG cultural nights. And we would also be providing food options for those who have special dietary needs. For example, some people don't eat meat, so we would provide vegetarian options, and some people only eat kosher. And we would also provide halal options for those who need those dietary needs. In addition to that, we would also label our food so people would be aware of what is being served to them. And lastly, we would pass out name tags to people because we think that interaction between guests is very important, and having a name tag would be a great conversation starter between people. And our second goal will be to help international students professionally. We would do this by collaborating with the International Student Career Alliance to have career nights, and we would also have networking mixers, which allows students to mingle and meet professionals. And our third point would be the most important one, which is to have OPT and CPT workshops. For those who do not know, OPT is optional practical training and CPT is curricular practical training. And these programs help international students stay in the United States after graduation in order to gain more experience to find jobs. And lastly, we would also have events with special guest speakers, and these talks would either be educational or motivational. And our third goal would be to give back to the community, which has given so much to ISA. We would have charity events as well as have volunteering opportunities for international students to be exposed to the community in which they live in, as well as maybe put volunteering opportunities on their resume.
The fourth goal is to host bigger and better events this year, or next year. For example, we would try to get coffee hour instead at GSH or LLC. We would try to get it in the EMU Crater Lake Room, which is the big room with the windows next to Panda Express. This not only provides an actually just bigger space for a coffee hour where we can put more people, more food, more events happening at coffee hour, but as well as can bring in a lot of students who maybe just stumble upon it in the EMU and they don't know what ISA is and they come in for the food but then they stay for the people. Another example of doing so would be getting special request meetings with ASUO. This way we can get budgets that are outside of the ISA budget and we can use that budget to get more food for ISA, which obviously ISA has a huge dilemma with food during coffee hour because people are so savage and want food like that. So to get more food would be able to bring in a lot more people as well. Lastly, the fifth goal is probably our biggest change within the internal ISA group. So we would create a new department, and our department would be called Corporate Relations. So as right now, we have 4 departments in ISA. We have programs, which is the executive position she was in, and I was the intern for her. We have outreach, we have marketing, and we have finance. And the fifth would be called corporate relations. Now the main function for this group would be that they would be solely responsible for all the sponsorships for ISA. We believe that sponsorships is a really good way to get in touch with businesses, not just on campus, but as well as outside campus, and can really tap into what ISA's really potentially can be. An example of this is UCLA. UCLA's ISA has a corporate relations department, and they're able to contact sponsors such as Verizon. So we want to really open up ISA sponsorships because this brings in a lot more people because they see Verizon at an event and they say, wow, that's pretty cool, they must be pretty official, right? So then they come. So not only does this corporate relations serve as a great way to focus on just sponsorship, but as well as alleviates a lot of responsibility within the department. So finance department, instead of being just sponsors and budget, it would be just budget and writing POs, because POs is also a responsibility that's not really given to anyone. So that would be the responsibilities for finance.
Yeah, it's like Lori's job right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it gives a lot of people more specific jobs. And additionally, it gives ISA more positions for interns, which is also a great way to get more people involved.
Yeah, so with these 5 new goals being promoting cultural understanding and cultural interactions, as well as helping international students professionally, giving back to the community, and also, well, my phone is like, also having bigger and better events, as well as introducing a new department, corporate relations. Bridget and I are very confident that we can lead ISA to new levels and reach new heights, and we hope that you all have the faith in us as we do in ourselves.
Alishya and I are extremely passionate about ISA, otherwise we obviously would not be in this position right now. We want everyone to know that next year we will work our butts off to do everything that we have just stated. However, with that said, we want to make sure that everyone knows that whatever the results or votes are next week, we are confident that regardless of which candidate wins for ISA president and vice president, that we will be in good hands next year. Thank you everyone for your time and consideration.